I had another guy from film. He's really good. He's a really good man. Oh, there he is, right there. Yeah.
We live here at the Department of Justice and for the press conference, family of Alaunte Scott, who was killed by US Marshals in Southeast DC, to begin. I'm not sure this strong enough. So we may be reporting from a different method, but you can see we are the Department of Justice and our again here.
These are going to keep past the card. You got it. You might be right. What, she gonna meet you? Okay. Are you in the right call? Right here. So what? Yeah. Paul, you in the spot? How you doing? Okay. And my okay. Hey. So what we go do? All right, come on up. Y'all come on up. Y'all. Everybody. Everybody here? Hey. You got it? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered today to address policing America and in response to the executive issue by President Biden in order 104774. And it is dealing with effective, accountable policing and similar practices to enhance public trust and public safety. I think that says that's all, ladies and gentlemen. It was made The executive order was done in response to the fact that the Congress could not pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. So we come out, the president. It's a good direction you're moving in to have an executive order since Congress couldn't do what we elected them. But Mr. President, we want you to go a little bit further. And we want you to hold federal law enforcement accountable. And that is state and local, because the feds send the money to the state and so we've addressed 7 issues, Mr. President, the Department of Justice, that we want you to address. 7 issues. The first thing we want to do, you're going to clean up some of the issues in law enforcement that we know that and I'm a retired United States law, 32 years of public service. I have with me law people, and I have with me people who have become victims of law enforcement that to speak. And I have with me attorneys that know the legal system. And other groups, the civil rights groups that have come together and said enough is enough. How do we pass this system? Now, Mr. President, certainly your executive order says to America, it's a problem that needs to be fixed. It does. But what we want to do now, myself, and we've said this over and over. The class agent leading 10,000 black federal agents or apply for the job, US Marshals, with an address says termination is based with the United Marshals Service, which is under the US Justice. We here to America and to the president. We want you to look to 7 seconds. If you do things, there will be change in America in law enforcement. One of the things to do, we want you to complete investigation, and your order calls for that. Your order calls for timely investigation. The issue is the Civil Rights Act. Well, we have with us today Alaunte, the mother of Alaunte Scott, was killed by United States Marshals just a couple of months ago. What these DC, and there has investigation done, and they have not released the case, nor have let us know this investigation. I'm a United States Marshal. So I stand here. That's not right. You need to let the public go on because there is distrust. At this stage, type of discrimination reeks the United States that has been going on for 30 years. It says we trust what is said in this Department of Justice when it comes down to race discrimination. Now, I'm also a whistleblower, and I have whistleblowers here. And our concerns is this: in order to bad policing, you must have good cops who will point out the bad cops. The same way they always say in rifle association, they say the way you deal with a bad guy with a gun is what? A good guy. But you don't deal with bad cops, it's proper. And I say this to you today: we must protect protections for the. I'm gonna have a person, Tom Devine, expert in this protection. He's going to come forward, and he's going to why that is so important. That more protection for law enforcement officers, myself, and others. We're also looking at looking at immunity. Tom is going to talk a little bit. Officers who qualified immunity. There should be some limit on that. Officers, if you can sue doctors and you can sue lawyers, you should be law enforcement who's reckless, who's out there and do their job this way and violate our Constitution. We're talking about review boards, state and local levels. Civilian review boards have to play because the people cannot trust the police themselves. You have to have billions involved. Somebody else who can look and see what police are saying when saying they're not wrong. Maybe they still were wrong. And trust me, law enforcement for 30 years, and I know how we protect each other. We will cover each other. We have to plant drugs. We have been known to plant. We have been known to lying, go on the court to test a lie. Enough information out there that said that all of this. We need to stop talking about it, and we need something about it. So we're getting today to do something about it, and we want to help you, Mr. We want to help you. The term is right. So you need to hear from people like ours that can make a difference. So right now, I've asked the mother, Alaunte Scott, who was killed on February the 28th of this year. She right next to me. And ladies and gentlemen, let's understand something. Very seldom do you hear law enforcement people and the civilians come this one group. That's what makes this press conference so unique. Because we have bigger mothers. We have people here that have been victims, and we as law enforcement officers saying that's not right if you're going to operate in a wreck. I understand as a law enforcement officer, times where you may have to use deadly force. You do those things. I have an individual here. His name is Michael Lucas. In 1890, Michael Lucas was on the run, and he was doing 20 to life from. I went and I got involved with a team of other US Marshals. The white decided they didn't follow my orders and ordered us. Michael was trying to pull his gun out on me. God had a different thing for that day. That day, Mike would have died. But he tried to pull his gun. I had his gun in his pocket to keep him from using it, and we got him subdued. Now, what's the significance of that? Because colleagues, US Marshals, because I had filed a discrimination complaint, they refused to back me up. And what we're told, when you're in law enforcement and you speak out against Blue Wall of Sounders, there's a chance you lose. On that day, I should have died, or I could have died. Different term. Here it is today, 30 years later, he goes to prison. Does a total of 35 years. And now he's standing with me today. Mike is standing with me today. The same man that I had to hold his pocket to keep him from killing me. And so my church. And he says, and he brought tears to my eyes. He said, I want to thank Matthew for saving my life. Because he knew at the same time I could have killed him. I had my gun checked, and I couldn't. But I didn't. I had his gun in his pocket. Got him. Come down, and we got. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is how dangerous this stuff is in law enforcement. And I'm surprised. U.S. Justice Merrick Garland, and I know you can hear me, and I know the president. I know you hear me, and all of the congressional folks invited here. We've invited Glenn. I've sent letters to the congressional representatives. We discuss this issue year after year. Ladies and gentlemen, how in the world can you have the lead law enforcement of the United States have 30 years of discrimination unresolved, and fix the issue. That's 7 presidents gone through. That's 12 United States attorneys going all the way back. Hasn't fixed the issue. So how can the public to think that they're going to get justice? So there's no justice even internal. So what we're gonna do? What I do? Call some people to talk a little bit about it. Important that these resolutions we have presented to the president because it's exactly what it talks about. It talks about restraint. It talks meaning. It covers a myriad of things that says how law enforcement change, but it doesn't talk whistleblowers. It talk about those who will go and point out the bad cop. Now, as a law enforcement, we understand in order to indicate crimes, you have to have what witness. You gotta have witnesses. And so, in order to have witnesses, you gotta give them protection. I'm a United States Marshal, and we grandpa protection program. That program was set up for crime, set up for mafia, that type of thing. Well, yes, but no, y'all. What is more organized than bad cops if you got crime? Right. That's organized crime personified if you got a bad cop. Everybody. So it's so important that we take that. And Mr. It's so important that you put qualifications, you put stipulations in your executive order that covers the officer in the United States that'll come forward and point out and blow the whistle on fraud and abuse. So to do now, I'd like to have Tom Devine to come forward and give a couple of words on why this whistleblower protection and why the law is so important.
This is Virginia Spatz at US Department of Justice, and I'm going to pause this streaming for the moment and come back in a bit. We are at Department of Justice listening to supporters and family. Alaunte Scott, who was killed by US Marshals, Ward 8 earlier this year.
Law enforcement accountability without corruption is a damage. It's a fraud. So this executive order endorsed a number of outstanding